yes, you can still get punished, but a lot more slaying in this game type.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking at Crim too, because again, I think Formal, we're going to expect at least consistency, if not a good performance. And again, Karma this series has been on point. Crim6, though, that first hard point was really struggling, so I think he's the player to look out for to start turning things around.
And then, Buck, from an E6 standpoint, in this next hard point, who's going to be that player that you're just looking at to go off? Is it once again going to be Cade using the FDL jump? Is he going to try and make clutch plays?
I think it's sort of the role players, Cade and Ruiz. We haven't touched much on them. We sort of talked about Proto in general. General's been that consistent slayer,
right,
but they need help, from those other two guys.
Well, as it stands, OpTic Gaming currently up in the series, 2-1. Looking to close it out here on this next hard point. It's going to be everything from the analysis desk. For now, we can send it back up to our casters for the series.
Brilliant stuff, gentlemen. Pumped and fired up to get into this one. If you're just tuning in, welcome to MLG Vegas Championship Sunday. We've got a big one here as we're getting closer and closer to these final few matches of the day. Teep, let's get into it, buddy.
OpTic Gaming now on match point, starting up map 4, throwback hard point. Let's see if OpTic Gaming can fix their hard point struggles here. But they have not looked good on the game type, I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's what's insane. Imagine them winning this series if they were able to and losing both hard points. Like if it goes to a game 5, that'd never be a situation I would even really consider. But it could end here unless E6 comes up clutch, but they have looked very, very good in hard point. But now 3 down, Cade the only one up. Cade trying to make a play, can't do it, and that'll be Formal. Finding 3, him and Crim6 both starting out nicely. And that's a good start for Crim too, because they mentioned he did not have a good game 1. They need him though. The longer the series goes, the more pressure that seems to mount, the better he likely is going to play.
Seemed like some more Oses were coming out on that Frost as well, so maybe they start, switching over to a 2-2 split. We'll see what they're most comfortable with. Looks like the better half of this hard point would be about 35 seconds going into OpTic Gaming's favor as we focus on this rotation over towards Barn. These gunfights towards the back going to be very important. Ruiz needs some help here.
Yeah, and he got the help. Well, Karma did actually find one before dropping, which is crucial considering there were 2 players in front of him. But Ruiz now starting to work a little bit towards these streaks. He's gotten the Scarab. 300 off the Trinity, just got vision on one going up over the fence. Teammate spawning on him, finds yet another. Cannot keep it going though, as finally he will drop. And now let's get a little bit closer to the hard point. Back barn, gonna be Scump. Dipping, diving, finding the kill there, and now looking to contest as he keeps it going, gives the assist into Crim6. And now OpTic looking to build some more time.
So much pressure from OpTic over towards that back line side. They break the spawn, and look how far out those blue arrows on the minimap are spawning out over towards that blue. Just going to take them so long to get these gunfights over back towards Barn. Karma picks up the third.
My Karma.
The Osa seems fitting in this man's hands. An absolutely dominant maps 2 and 3. Making it happen again here. Lots of time in the hard point, and OpTic Gaming cruising to a sick lead.
Well, we got to get to the rotation, but we'll get back to Karma in a moment. I thought for a second that was going to be Crim6 spinning, getting his eagle on, but now the spawn's not exactly favorable here as we get to bike path, as they're going to all have to rotate out. Karma will finally end up dropping the slang, and he didn't really need to do that as much last year. I feel like you're always talking about Formal and Scump and just kind of the clutches, the big plays, the objective work that Karma would do. But so far, they've needed the slaying from him, certainly. But let's hop over to Ruiz as well. He just had 4 in a row. He didn't end up dropping. There was General there to trade that out. But this looks kind of the opposite of the first hard point. Early lead for OpTic Gaming. Let's see if they can hold on or if E6 will be able to fire back. And this is a kind of an easy one to contest, right? When you can sit on either side of that, but everyone dropping, it's just going to be Proto left. They can take him out, going to be able to rack up some more time, and he should be dropped somehow, still alive, and able to slide and find one. But Karma, yet again, another spree, 10 and 6, 3 in a row, leading all players in hard point time before. He's doing it all right now.
Oh, OpTic's completely happy with this hard point. Yes, a lot of time was contested, but they had the side that they wanted for the rotation over towards next, towards this back statue baseball field. They weren't the ones in the situation that had to make a play. They just took their time, and E6 had to situation. Shaky shots from Karma there as General picks up 2. E6 should be able to get a majority of this time, but there is one player lingering. That's Crim on this left side of the map.
Yeah, they're going to try and set up the pinch here. I'm going to switch to Crim's POV. Actually, Crim's going to get flanked. He needs to go now. Otherwise, I got to go to Ruiz. Ruiz should be coming up behind both of them, but they're able to sniff it out. Now the pinch is going to come in. Crim able to find it. Scump and Karma finding more. And now OpTic Gaming locking down baseball field. And it's Karma kind of pushing out this bike path side, sorry, blue side that was able, bowling side, that was able to find a couple of kills to slow them down. And they keep racking up the time. They've had just about a double-digit lead throughout most of this team.
Yeah, just great stuff overall. E6 just can't seem to put anything together. Yes, they're getting some multi-kills here and there, but can't really get that last player. Usually it's Karma able to pick up that last couple of players in the hill. And, you know, this OpTic Gaming team, once they get rolling, they're just pretty scary and tough to take out in these 1-versus-1 gunfights. 70-point lead for OpTic Gaming on this rotation.
Just keeps on building. What does E6 need to do differently? Is this just a gassed up, fired up OpTic Gaming team and they're having trouble now keeping up with the slang? Or are you seeing something that's sticking out like a sore thumb for this E6 side?
I think they're spreading out a little bit too far, not focusing on these favorable spawns enough, but largely you can see it from our POV right here. They're losing these 1v1 gunfights. The only person that it really isn't is General, so the rest of the team needs to just pick it up, maybe play a bit more slow and selfish a pre-aim style to win some of these gunfights.
Yeah, they'd certainly have to get it going as, yeah, it's all 4 players now positive from OpTic, where we saw that only true for 1 in the game 1, so the slaying factor certainly coming alive, and they basically have doubled the opposition throughout this. So slowly but surely, the lead just kind of building over the course of this. Now the pressure going to come in. It's going to be Karma. He's been the hot hand, 17 and 13 right now as he's trying to hit back barn. Checking Lime, finding one, can't win the gunfight. Those one-on-ones that E6 needs to win. We'll see if they can continue to win those battles.
E6 just not setting up properly on this back barn hill. Yes, they are winning some of these gunfights, but you see when you hold that left side of barn, how far you spawn out over towards blue. Luckily, some gunfights bail them out of this weird situation. Scump has something to say about it, though. A 3rd kill for him. Sliding into the hill, has some help from Krim as well. Another clean break, and it looks like E6 now going to flip over towards that lemon and lime side of the map, but just getting pushed out so far. Now spawning blue. This 30 seconds is going to be very easily into OpTic's favor, or at least should be.
And not something you talk about as much in COD versus maybe other shooters is team shooting. Because, you know, you die so fast, the time to kill so quick. I've seen I feel like so many assists on the POVs we've been going to, just showing to me that the communication is just really on point right now for OpTic Gaming. They're working together brilliantly. They had an 8 or 9 streak stretched together there, and they're looking to close this game out 163 to 80. Crim 6 finding 1 mid. You have on X-Ray a couple players spawning field, and now the new hard point has popped. Shots a little all over. That's a range was a little bit tough with the OSAs. He is going to get gunned, and Scump was the only man up with Karma, but this entire time has been Karma racking up time.
Looks like 3 OSAs for the side of OpTic, and that's exactly what I have recommended for this squad. Just run and gun, get up close and personal with that fast time to kill close range weapon. It is an assault rifle, but really plays like an SMG.
It's reactive armor out for Scump. He was really close to picking up the bombardment, and Scump has stepped up, man. I know we've knocked him a little bit for his KD and respawns over the course of this broadcast, and it's not even that the 1.0 is that bad. It's just for Scump it is that bad when you're used to seeing 1.2, somewhere in that ballpark. But now, coming up big as he is 25 and 16, but the man, I think the MVP of this series for me has been Karma, and he continues to get it done. A minute plus in the hard point here, just soaking up this time. He's got to contest, though, on the other side of it, and he cannot win that one-on-one gunfight. Now, look, you have a lot of, what do you have? You have camo available, FTL jump, also rewind, maybe string together some of these payloads and some clutch plays for E6, but they've got a lot of work to do. They're down big, team.
Some score streaks dropping in. Ruiz does have this camo to work with, decides to pop it now. Best time to pop it, in my opinion. A 3 dead for OpTic Gaming. Last player alive is going to be Krim towards his middle underpass. Wins 1, but gets traded out. So a good hold. Finally, something happening for E6.
That was sick from Ruiz.
But Scump drops some scorchers down and takes out a couple.
That's what's tough when you have the streaks that start to come in and get the break. Top blue is going to be Cade. He's able to, let's say, maybe not come up behind one, but he does find it. But OpTic Gaming has now got the favorable spawns. Take a look at the minimap. Spawning in close is going to be Karma and Formal as they're able to rotate over and pick up the final 20 or so seconds here. And the spawn for E6 was all the way, I believe, over at Silo, basically. Not even going to give them an opportunity to try and fight for that final time.
For sure, score streaks just used at the best times. Yes, payload abilities were dropped by E6 to hold for a little bit, but Scump bombs them out of the hill. Gets the last 20 or so seconds on that hard point. We're rotating back to middle now, and I just don't think E6 really has a chance here. They need to string multiple hills together, but I don't feel like their setups are proper on especially barn.
Yeah, OpTic has certainly come alive in this one, and things very dire for E6 now, still trailing by 100 points. They would need to play perfect hard point to try and get this done, but his 3 drop, that may be the dreams dropping of E6 as well, as OpTic Gaming continues this loser's bracket run. That's all 4 being taken down in succession. Formal playing the objective inside, trying to find time. 19 seconds away from closing out this series. Barring a miracle, OpTic Gaming is moving on.
Fighting for top 6 here. They looked like pretty bad yesterday. They turned it around here, though. Only need 10 more seconds. Last 7 seconds of scraps should be going into their favor, and I think they're just going to close it out here. A couple of players dropping from E6, a third from Formal. One more player spotted at this front bar. They should have this rotation. One more second, and that's it. OpTic Gaming now makes top 6 to play phase.
Crowd letting them know they were quiet in game 1. You didn't hear a whole lot. Well, one, I think the stands, fan-wise, probably doubled over the course of the game, as this was the first match on the main broadcast. You know, we were talking about the fact it was kicking off at 11 o'clock. People filtering in, the energy just growing and growing over the course of that. It's a tough loss for E6, but let's talk a little bit from their side. How impressed were you with their run coming into this weekend, considering I don't think any of us expected them maybe to make it this far? Sure, it was possible, but they had a nice run.
I am pretty surprised, to be honest. When you take that much time off, yes, I'm sure the guys were still playing at a competitive level throughout this last year, but now they're allowed to come to these events and participate. And the fact that these guys stuck together for this long, kept some of that chemistry going, and had a pretty solid performance here. Getting top 8, you know, that's not bad at all. And you see sort of the potential that we saw from them yesterday. Shaky a bit today, but it's an OpTic Gaming on Sunday. What can you really expect?
Yeah, and at some point, all these guys, General Release, Cade, and Proto, showed they can slay with the best of them and keep up. Very good stuff from E6, but unfortunately, their tournament dreams are done, and OpTic Gaming is moving on. I believe it's FaZe up next. We didn't see it all of last year, but to break this one down, we'll toss it back down to Benson and the boys.